Welcome, beloved, to day 51 in this Minor Arcana card pull in this series, Living the Tarot. And today we have the Nine of Swords. I'm just going to light me. There you go. Not a card that everybody loves to get, but, with there not being any good or bad tarot cards, this too can be seen in a different light. So we have this card meaning haunted, grieving, insomnia, troubled. And the number 9 represents changes coming for the better, right? Getting to that 10 or the completion of the cycle. 9 interlaced swords appear horizontally against black. A person sits up from the bed, awake, unable to rest, hands to face. A blanket of roses and astronomical symbols cover a quilted blanket. Carved into the side of the bed are 2 men fencing, one clearly the victor and one falling, defeated. The seeker is haunted by a sense of loss, whether the sustaining of material loss is in a given situation or the intangible loss of a loved one. What's more, there's also a loss of sleep over the matter. Cutting thoughts disturb the seeker's rest. The seeker blames him or herself for what happened. The seeker believes that the loss of his or her own fault and could have been prevented somehow. But the Nine of Swords tells us, in fact, that what has happened to the seeker was, in a way, inevitable. It was beyond the seeker's control. It was a loss that could have occurred one way or another, or would have occurred one way or another. It simply had to happen, for reasons the seeker perhaps cannot perceive right now. There's a strong sense of force measure in the Nine of Swords. The rose printed on the quilted blanket represents mystery, and the alternating quilted pattern of astrological symbols suggests causes well beyond the seeker's personal control, a matter of written in the stars, or at the very least caused by powers greater than the seeker. The fencers carved into the wood of the bed indicates that a combat took place, and the seeker was not the victor. When one awakes from unsettling dreams and is caught in the haze between the conscious and unconscious, when the seeker's unsure what is real or unreal, that feeling is that the seeker feels at that moment. Note how the points of the 9 swords depicted on the card extend out of view, suggesting that the total amount of damage is not yet ascertainable at this time. Another way of looking at this card is with regret, but it was not your fault. Nothing you could have done would have prevented from what happened. It doesn't always make things better because it still happened through choices of others or unforeseen circumstances that you could not control, but knowing that this source is not your fault. If this card happens to come up in a love reading, it could indicate haunted by pains of love, grieving period, or guilt. In a professional development reading, if this card comes up, it can be about regrets over past mistakes. Error in judgment is haunting the seeker, right? So, beloved, when you see this card, when you draw this card, when someone says this to you, what are some of the initial feelings that come up for you? And how can you counteract that, right? You want to go, with your gut feeling at first. What is it indicating? Are you losing sleep? Are you worried? Are you stressed? How are you taking care of yourself, right? How is all this stress and worry affecting you? Hmm? And does it help to think that maybe the cause of it wasn't you and there's nothing you could have done? I don't know. That's still a tough one to swallow, right? It's still pain that you have to go through and deal with. Mm. I've heard some readers say that the quilted blanket can mean that whoever's going through this Nine of Swords energy, the seeker, may be kind of comfortable in their own pain, almost like a constant pity party. Not sure as I agree with that, but that's some interpretations I've heard, right? Too comfortable, misery loves company, just keeping it going, keeping stuck in your own cycles of stress and worry. Hmm. I do kind of like the depiction on this Arcanum card with the dove coming down and some light, like shedding some light on the situation, right? Bringing some hope at least. Well, beloved, I hope you have a good day meditating on this card. I hope you're able to find some positive way to spin this and see some hope, some light at the end of the tunnel with this card. Have a good day, beloved, and stay grounded.